So I challenged myself to make a 3D gift box animation. I think it turned out pretty nice. Let's see how I made it from scratch. Starting with the default cube, I'll just move it to the top and tab into edit mode. I'll add a loop cut here and select those faces using the face selection mode. Now I'll press Alt E and extrude along normals. I'll add another loop cut on the right side and bevel it, and the same on the front side to do the same. Now select those faces using the face select mode and Alt E to extrude along normals. Now I'll tab into edit mode and add another cube. I'll move this right to the top and scale on the Y axis. I'll select this face. In the edit mode, I'll select the face and scale it down and move it down on the Z axis. I'll select this other face and scale it out. Next is I'll select the edges at the end and contribute to bevel. You scroll on your mouse wheel as you do this. Next is I'll just have to select the face right here and the other side, then I to insert, then delete the faces. Now select the face, turn on proportional editing and scale it again, then move it down on the Z axis. Press Shift S and choose cursor to selected. Now tab into object mode and I'm going to shade this with shade auto smooth since I won't be using any modifier for it. Now from the top view, I'm just going to make duplicates. I tried rotating them on 90 degrees, but I say I had to fix it manually myself. So now I'll select the box and tab into edit mode. I'll select this face at the intersection and insert it, then extrude it. Now bevel it. This is to form the ribbon knots. I'll tab into object mode and just make some tiny adjustments. Next, I'll select the ribbons, holding on Shift and Ctrl J to join them. Next, for the art, I'll add another cube. Let's just hide the other objects and bring this cube down. So I'll rotate on X axis 45 degrees. Now tab into edit mode and select these faces. Alt E to extrude individual faces. Now add the subdivision modifier. I'll put the levels at 3 and add a loop cut here and another one right here. Then switch to vertex mode and select these two vertices at the sides. Then I'll switch to right orthographic view and move it up on Z axis. I'll do the same for the top. On the right orthographic view, I'll move it on Y axis. I'll also select the vertices at the other side and move it up on Z axis. Then I'm going to scale it in a little bit so it looks like a heart. Next, I'll tab into edit mode and shade it smooth. So let's reduce the size. Now I'm going to hide the other objects, Alt H to do that, or you can turn on the eye icon at the outliner. Next, I'll just add a cylinder to serve as my floor. I'm just going to scale it and make some little adjustments. So I'll place my cursor here and add a plane. This will serve as our background. So I'm just going to make some adjustments so it looks right. Bring it to the top and I'll tab into edit mode and select the 3 edges and extrude on Z axis. I'll tab into object mode and just scale it to cover the screen. Now let's add some material. On material preview, we're going to add material to our objects. So my background, I'll give it a yellow color. I'll give the floor a darker color. Let's go with brown. So now I'll select the box and tap into edit mode. I'll select those faces at the intersection and do the same for the other side. Now I'm also going to select those tiny faces by the sides. Just take your time and do this. So just go around and select the faces. You can choose to hide the background if it's obstructing you. So once we are done, on the material property, click on the plus sign and click on assign. Then you add material of your choice. So I'll tap into edit mode and just make some adjustments on the materials. You can choose to play around with colors till you get your choice. So we'll be going with this. Now select the box and tap into edit mode. I'll select the faces just to get the lead. And from the top view, I'll select the faces for it to be easier. So select the faces and all the ones so at the side. You also have to take your time and do this. I don't know if there's a faster way to do it, but just take your time. And if it goes off, like when you're selecting the face, just Ctrl Z to do that and continue from where you stop by either holding down on Ctrl or on Shift. Once we are done, I will just press P and choose selection. This will separate the top from the box. So I'll move it up. I say I did not select some faces, so I'll make some corrections on that. So I'll look for that face that I did not select and fix it. So P and choose selection to separate. Now it's looking better. So next I will select the lead and then the ribbon, then Ctrl J to join to keep them together in place. So when I move it, it's moving together. So the next thing we're going to do, we need to rename the objects on the outliner so it will be easier for us to identify. So I'll rename the top as the lead, also the heart. Then I'll make a duplicate and also rename this heart too. Now with this second heart selected, go to render property and turn on bloom. Then on material, click on that 2 there to make it a single copy. Then on surface, change it to emission and choose your preferred color. We want the second heart to serve as our light source. So I'll tap into render preview and increase the strength to 70. So this is how it's looking like. Then select the first heart and on the modifier add the particle system modifier. Then go to particles property. Then scroll down to field weight. Let's play this first. See, it's coming down when we play, so I want it to go up. Now reduce the gravity to 0. So move up to render and render as object. So I'll use the eyedropper to select the second heart. Now when we play, this is what we have. So next I'll lift the lid up so I can place the first heart inside the box. I'll make some little adjustments and then I'll close the box. Then on render preview, we'll add some lights. I'll add an area light. I'll move it up and scale it. I'll move it again on the Z axis and rotate to the side. So increase the power to 1000 and choose a light yellow color. Now move it again to the side. I'm bringing it to the front so it doesn't cast too much shadows on the box. So I'll increase the size to 2 and also turn on the contact shadow for realism. Now I'll add another area light and also scale it and move it to the side. I'll rotate it a bit and also bring it to the front. I don't want too much shadows on the box, so I'll put the power at 400 and also put the size at 2 and enable contact shadows. So H to hide the second hat. Alright, time to animate. So I will lift up the timeline from the bottom of my screen. Now select all my objects and go to Object, Set Origin to Geometry. Next on the outliner, I'll select the box, the lid and the hat. Then I'll move it up on Z axis. At 1, I want it to be at this location, so press I on my keyboard to insert location. Now at 20, you notice the emitter coming out, so select the first hat, then go to Particles Property. At the frame start, you see is at 1, so I'll just set it at 200 for now. Then I'll select the hat, the box and the lid again. Then at 20, we want it to start rotation, so I'll press I and insert rotation. Now 40, I want it to rotate at this location, so I'll rotate this on 360, then press I to insert location and rotation. Now right click on that yellow icon and press ease in and out, so it starts with a slow motion there. So at 60, I will bring this down and insert location. In the yellow icon, select ease out. Now for the lid, I'll select it and I'm going to set it at location from frame 1 to 60. This is because I want the lid to stay still until it starts opening at frame 80. So at 80, I want it to move out. Okay. So at 80, I want it to move out like this. I'll set it at location and ease in. Then at 100, I want it to come down and rotate slightly a bit. So press I and insert location and rotation. Then I'll choose ease in and out. Then at 120, this is when we want our love to come out. So also going to do the same thing. I'll set it at location from 1 to 100. So at 80, it will be at location. At 100, it will be at location. Now at 120, I'm going to apply scale because we want it to increase in size when it comes out at this location. So insert location and scale. Then at 140, I'll just scale it to make it bigger. Now also insert location and scale. Then select ease in and out. Then at 160, I want the emitter to start coming out. So I'll change the previous 200 to 160 now and insert its location. Then at 180, I'll also insert location. Then I want it to end at 200. So I'll also insert location. Now let's play this by pressing spacebar on your keyboard. Now you can choose to make some adjustments, like on the emitter, you can choose to increase the number to 2000 to the smudge, and also you can choose to increase the second hat so the size of the emitter is big, and you can also make changes on the brightness of the color however you want it. We've made something fun today. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is you're learning and making progress. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Blender beginner projects. Thanks so much for watching.